Let's talk about the basics of a granny square. Granny squares begin with a magic loop. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop or a magic circle. I've got a video on how I like to make mine. And then once you have your circle, we are going to pull up a loop so that we can chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. This chain counts as our first double crochet. I'm going to adjust my yarn here so it's easier for me to hold. We need another double crochet, or this time a real double crochet. To do this, we're going to yarn over and dive that hook through the magic circle. Pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. We now have our 3 chains and a double crochet. We need another double crochet. So to do that, we yarn over through that magic circle, pull up a loop, and we yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. This, our 3 chains and our 2 double crochets, create what's called a granny cluster. We need to separate this cluster from the next cluster, so we are going to chain 3. Yarn over through 1, yarn over through 1, yarn over through 1, and I've got my 3 chains. I'm now going to put 3 double crochets into the magic loop. So to do that, I will yarn over and put my hook through the magic loop. Pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Another double. I'm just going to scoot that on down so they're next to each other. Another double. Yarn over through the magic loop, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Reorganize my yarn for another double crochet. Yarn over into the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. What we have created, and you'll notice I'm just going to shove those close together, is another granny cluster. A granny cluster is 3 double crochets. We're going to separate this cluster from the next one with 3 chains. 1, 2, 3 chains. And I need to make 3 double crochets. Yarn over into the magic circle. Pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Another double crochet. Yarn over into the magic circle. Pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. I've only got 2 double crochets here, but I'm noticing my magic circle is kind of running out of tail. What makes a magic circle magic is you can pull on it. And that makes the circle smaller and this tail longer so it doesn't get too lost. All right, so I have 2 double crochets. I need another double crochet to complete my granny cluster. So I yarn over, dive the hook through the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So now I have my completed granny cluster. 1, 2, 3 double crochets. A granny square has 4 sides, just like a square. So we right now have 1, 2, 3 granny clusters. We need another one. To create space, we're going to chain 3. Chain, chain, chain. And you guessed it, we're making 3 double crochets in the magic circle. Yarn over through the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Another double crochet. Yarn over into the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. Our final double crochet, we yarn over through the magic loop, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. We now have, as I sort of scoot these guys together, 4 granny clusters. 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. We need to connect these together. Creates a round. So I'm going to do the same thing I've done in between each of my granny clusters and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And before I do anything else, I'm going to pull my magic circle by taking this short end and pull it as tight as I can. This closes up the magic circle and helps me create more of a square shape. To connect these chains to the first granny cluster, I like to, I'm not going to lie to you, cheat a little bit. What I'm going to do is put my hook into the loops at the top of the first double crochet. So for me, I've got 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and then my chains. I'm going to put my hook through the top of this first double crochet. It should look like a little V on my hook. Then I take my yarn over, pull through, and keep pulling through. That's a slip stitch, and it connects together my granny square. So what we want to see on a granny square is a corner space that was created by our chains in each of the 4 corners of the square, and 3 double crochets called a granny cluster making up the sides of my square. Now, if I want to create a second row, I need to build out. So to do that, I'm going to dive my hook. See how it's coming up right by this corner? I'm going to dive that hook right into that space. Hook some yarn, pull it up, so I now have 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, and pull through. Then I'm going to yarn over again and create a chain. Ta-da! This acts as our 3 chains that we did at the start. And it's going to act as the first double crochet for this granny cluster. So I'm going to yarn over and go back right into that same corner. I'm hanging out in this same corner for a while. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm 2/3 of the way through my first granny cluster, so I need another double crochet, yarn over into that same corner space. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now what I'm going to end up with here, so I move my yarn, is there's going to be 2 granny clusters in each corner. 2 clusters coming out here, 2 clusters coming out here, 2 clusters coming out here, and 2 coming out here. In our second round, and forever round after this, we begin by making half of the first corner. Then we will complete the other corners and come back to finish the other half of this first corner. So we are going to go on to the next corner. No chains, nothing fancy. We just yarn over and begin a double crochet in this next space by pulling up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. There are 3 double crochets in a granny cluster, so let's make another double crochet. And our final double crochet. This corner is going to have 2 granny clusters in it. So to create some space between those 2 granny clusters, I'm going to chain 3. Chain, chain, chain. And make 3 more double crochets right in that same space. Yes, I've got 3 already in there, and I'm going to add another 3 double crochets. Pull through 2, pull through 2, same space, pull through 2, pull through 2, same space, pull through 2, pull through 2. So now this corner has 2 granny clusters and a nice little corner created out of chains. Let's go to the next corner. No chains, nothing fancy. We just start with a double crochet right into that next corner. Double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. And again, we want to create 2 granny clusters in this corner. So to create a little space, we chain 3. Same corner, 3 more double crochets. Two and 3. My yarn's getting saucy. All right, so now I have a half corner done, 1 corner completely done with 2 granny clusters and a nice corner, another corner done with 2 granny clusters and a corner made out of chains. We're going to go to the next corner and do the same thing. 2 granny clusters separated by chains. Yarn over for our first double crochet. 2, same space, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. There's my first granny cluster, separated by chains, and another granny cluster right in that same hole. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are nearly there. Ooh, don't lose your spot there. So we have our beginning half a corner. We have our first completed corner, our second completed corner, and our third completed corner. So now we're back at start. This corner needs another granny cluster. So let's create 3 double crochets. And we need that space and that corner in between them. So we're going to chain 3. And we are going to slip stitch, just like we did at the beginning, into the top of the first double crochet. I put my hook in. I want to see a little V on my hook. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through. What's fun about granny squares is you can keep doing this for as long as you want. You build up each corner or each round, and it will make a bigger and bigger granny square. In each corner, you'll be placing 2 granny clusters separated by that chain 3. And now we have these side spaces. They will get just a granny cluster. So let's do this third round together so you can see what that looks like. All right, I'm gonna build up to the next row by diving my hook into the corner, pull up a loop. Now I've got 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through both. Yarn over for a chain. This counts as the first double crochet of my granny cluster. I need the second double crochet and the third double crochet. Remember, we just start with the first half of the first corner. We'll come back around and finish the other half at the end. Now we have a side space. Side spaces don't get any chains. They just get a granny cluster. So they get 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. And that's it. They're a side space. They don't get any chains. Let's go to a corner space. Corners get chains. But first, we start with just a granny cluster. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. And then I can create my corner by chaining 1, 2, 3, and going right back into that same corner space with another granny cluster. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. Now let's look at what we've got here, right? Here's where we started. We have built this entire side. This side has 3 granny clusters on it. Then we created a corner, and now we're going to make another side with 1, 2, 3 granny clusters. So into our side space, we want just 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. She's a side space, so that's all she gets. Corner, granny cluster, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 double crochets. I've got to create my corner, so I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, and then right in that same corner, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I've got my side completed, made my corner, and now I'm on to the next side. This side space gets 3 double crochets, 1 granny cluster. Double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. Side space done, on to the corner. The corner gets a granny cluster, 3 double crochets. My yarn is sneaking up on me. There we go. Finish my 3rd double crochet. It's a corner, so she gets chains. 1, 2, 3. And that granny cluster goes right back into that corner space. 1, 2, 3. So I've got one side, corner, second side, corner, third side, corner. I've got to complete my 4th side and that final half of the first corner. Side space, granny cluster. Two, 3 double crochets. I've completed my side space, so I need to finish this corner with a granny cluster, 2, 3 double crochets, and 3 chains, slip stitch, and I have completed my third row. Oop, unless I pull it out. There we go, slip stitch. Completed my third row of my granny square. You'll notice as you keep building rows around your granny square, you're going to end up with more side spaces. Those side spaces still only get one granny cluster, which is those 3 double crochets. Corners only are the only ones that get 2 double crochets separated by 3 chains.